Hello, I'm Kelly McDaniel, and I'm sailing on Azamara Quest in the Greek Isles. Here with me is Carol Cabezas, president of Azamara. We're going to be talking about Azamara's return to sailing as an independent cruise brand, upcoming voyages and destinations, plans for future programming, and of course their new ship, Azamara Onward, today on Insider Travel Report. Carol, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Kelly.
How wonderful is it to be getting back to sailing again?
It is so emotional for me, for everyone on the team shoreside who's been working on this for a year and a half, and the crew. The crew are they're just elated to be back doing what they love to do. And so, they're happy to be pleasing guests, and I think the guests are excited to be back as well.
Definitely. So what's it been like operating Azamara as an independent company after the sale?
It's been, a lot has been the same in that our responsibilities are still to create the wonderful product that we have. Of course, the thing that has been different is there is a tremendous amount of work around being able to set up Azamara with many of the structures that Royal Caribbean Shared Services had previously supported us with. And so slowly but surely we're able to cut the cords, but Royal Caribbean has been really great about continuing to support certain things that might extend out for a while. As an example, technology is something that doesn't happen overnight, especially when you want to get it right. And that will be a little while longer, and Royal Caribbean is being extremely supportive in helping us through all of that. So, that work has been quite a lot on the team as well, but it's going fabulously.
Good, that's wonderful to hear. What services and support did you have to replace now that you're not under the Royal Caribbean group?
Well, it's a lot of things that we don't really think about because usually because they're behind the scenes. So things like sales and marketing, those are front of the house and have always lived within the brand. But all of the fun nitty-gritty like accounting and treasury and technology and supply chain, all of those things that are critically important to the operations, we're not something that we handled, or any brand really typically handles internally when you're part of one of the large corporations. And so that's part of a lot of the heavy lifting we've been doing over the past many months.
But you said it's fun. You said there are parts of it that are fun.
It is fun. This has been a tremendous education for me, really learning about a lot of the intricacies about supply chain, or even establishing. The really fun thing is getting our all brand new technology, because one of the things nowadays is you find yourself as a business, if you had a lot of legacy systems, they call it technology debt. And we're coming away now, we essentially have no technology debt, and we're able to take on the newest and best systems that are out there. And so that's really exciting for the team. It's particularly exciting for our new IT team, who feel like this is a startup type of environment, but even better because we have a brand that's known and reputable and well established. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So what ships are you deploying in 2021, and what destinations are you focusing on?
So we're really fortunate in having already started up Quest this week, very exciting, in Greece. And Greece is one of those destinations that Azamara has really loved to focus on, because when we do country intensive, it's one of the things that we love to be able to really dig into a culture and a destination. We're able to island hop in a way that people who want to see everything about a culture can only do when they're in this type of environment. And you can do it so comfortably, in a wonderful floating boutique hotel. So we're focusing in the Mediterranean in these early days, but as we head into the winter, we're really focusing on the Caribbean and the Canary Islands. And so we start up a second ship, which is the Azamara Journey, in October. She will also begin in the Mediterranean initially, in Greece. But then she'll be moving over to do some canary intensives, which is really a first for the brand. It's a bit of a novelty, I think, for some of our North American guests. It's something that's tried and true for our British and our European guests. So we're pretty excited to see how the guests enjoy the canaries as we move into that season.
Great. When will Azamara Onward be relaunched, and where will it be deployed?
So that's pretty exciting. We are anticipating a really fabulous, chic celebration when Onward comes out in May of 2022. And so she's starting off in Monte Carlo. We'll be celebrating a naming event, and it'll be spectacular. Hopefully you will join us there. And we'll kick her off with a lot of fanfare. There's a tremendous amount of planning that's going into her startup in the springtime of 22. And she'll be doing a lot of Mediterranean as well. More than half of her deployment is actually country intensives.
Okay.
Because our guests have said that's what they enjoy the most.
I feel like that starting in Monte Carlo, that's kind of just, that excitement already is there. And then with the new ship too, it's just, what a perfect place. How are you going to be, or how are you renovating the ship right now, the Onward?
So the wonderful thing is, we have extremely supportive investors in Sycamore Partners. And so they've allowed us this time that we have her laid up to do all of the work that we'd like to do. So some things are beginning slowly but surely since a couple of months ago, and little by little we're able to do all of the work in a very methodical way. And so ultimately the goal is to have her look very similar to her three sister ships.
Okay.
Certain things might be a little bit different, some colors here or some fabrics and textiles there, but all of the main venues will be very similar. So she'll have the den, she'll have the living room, all of the favorites where people love to spend time in the mosaic. They will all be the same on Onward.
Great. And you've always been known for innovation. You've got your destination immersion, the Azamara evenings. We also have overnights in port a lot. So will these programs still be continuing? And do you have any new programs you're going to be introducing?
So we wanted to continue everything in a way that was safe for our guests, considering the environment that we're in. And so what that means is things like As Amazing Evenings, it is so integral to the destination immersion, we had to find a way to carry them out safely. So the way we're doing it now is we might not be able to go to some of these venues that we had in the past. So we're bringing the destination to you, to the guests. And so during this cruise, you'll of course experience our Greek themed destination celebration. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, but let's just say it will be gods and goddesses.
Fitting.
Joining our environment here on board. And so we've been able to recreate that special cultural connection through what we're now calling destination celebration.
Okay.
And there will be other things that, again, we wanted to maintain that connection with culture and destination. We've just adapted it a little bit to make sure that it's fitting with the current environment.
And do you anticipate any kind of new programs with Onward? Or, as you said, you just kind of want to keep it the same, kind of have your...
Well, we do have something special that will be announced in October. So I don't want to spill the beans because it is very exciting, but I'm happy to talk all about it come October.
Okay, sounds good. Where do you hope Azamara will be next year and even 5 years down the road?
That's probably the most exciting part of what we're all working on. So over the next year, our goal is to have 4 of our beautiful ships operating successfully, and all of them in Europe during the summertime. And so that will be success to me, to have gotten our full fleet operating as normal over the next year. And so far, so good. We're on track for that. But then looking out further into the horizon, there's a lot of other opportunity for growth that we're working on. And so it's something that I'll leave it at our guests will be extremely excited to hear about some of the growth plans that we're working on right now. I can't talk about them in detail, but rest assured we'll be sharing a lot of that in the coming months.
All right, we look forward to that. So how important are travel advisors in helping customers understand your cruise brand and selling it to their clients?
So I think the best way to think about it is Azamara has been focused on really exploring all of the very special nuggets that we can get into in any of these destinations that we're focused on. I think Greece is the perfect example. And our team is looking at not only how can we create new and exciting shore experiences during a cruise, but also before and after the cruise. And so, we've already, with our recent deployment announcement for Europe 23, we've already announced some special experiences before and after cruise. And we're looking at how we continue to expand all of that, because that's what our guests have said. They travel sometimes before or after, but we haven't offered them what they were hoping to do. And so we want to be able to give that to them so it could be a very streamlined experience where we're handling it all from start to end for them.
So they really can just extend their cruise, see even more of that country, and it really fits in with your destination immersion. And
yeah, not everything is at the port, right? Sometimes things are a little bit further inland. And just because you're coming to the cruise and staying closer to the shore doesn't mean that you have to miss out on that kind of experience. And so we want to make sure that we're able to make it convenient, easy for any of our guests to get that sort of bucket list item included when they're doing their cruise with us as well.
Yeah, with this cruise, people have been asking, what islands are you going to be visiting? And I'm like, we're seeing some of the best ones, and they're like, what about this one, this one? I'm like, aren't there over 300 islands? And I'm like, well, we'll just have to come back. But I really enjoyed this itinerary so far. And is there anything else that you want to share with our 90,000 travel advisors out there?
Well, the one thing I have to say to the travel advisors is thank you. Thank you so much. It was very special. Yesterday when we were greeting guests, I met a number of guests that were brand new to Azamara. And I asked them, how did you come to learn about Azamara? They were talking about their experience with some other fantastic brands out there. And that this time they had been referred to Azamara, and they said, my travel advisor. And so not only has it been difficult times for travel advisors over the past year and a half, they have not lost the faith. They have trusted us to continue sending new guests our way. And so for that, I'm extremely grateful. And I recognize just how much work it has been to deal with all of the changes that have been taking place. The same way we're trying to deal with the changes, they are too, and having to educate their clients and keep their clients motivated to, still think about exploring when things become a little bit more difficult and cumbersome. So a big thank you, number one. And then number two is that we are 100% committed to helping them through everything that's going on. Our team is focused on providing a lot of communication that makes things simple for them to know how we're operating, what they need for their clients as they're coming to sail with us. And if there's anything we are not providing, to please reach out. Our team in North America is more than happy to help them with whatever tools necessary to make sure that they have what they need to communicate to their clients effectively.
So is it easy for them to know what kind of pandemic protocols are going on right now? I mean, things seem to be changing every other day, every week. So is it easy for them to find out what's going on right in the moment?
We do. So we have a section of our website dedicated to what protocols do we have. And as we know things are having to change, we're updating everything there. So each time that we send out communication to our travel partners for them to leverage with their clients, we're always sending them back to this part of our website where we're keeping it as current as we're learning it too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it sounds like Azamara has a very bright future ahead. We look forward to seeing where it leads. Carol, thank you so much for joining me today for this interview. I'm Kelly McDaniel, and this is Insider Travel Report.